Jean holds a massive secret. Jimin suddenly lands in Amsterdam. Jungkook nowhere in sight in a move that has sent shockwaves through both the K-pop industry and global fan communities. Jimin has arrived in Amsterdam days ahead of schedule, without warning, without public explanation, and without the presence of fellow BTS member Jungkook. The early arrival, taking place just before Jin's highly anticipated final tour stop in the Netherlands, has ignited a wildfire of speculation. Is this merely a show of support from one bandmate to another, or is there a calculated plan unfolding behind closed doors? And, perhaps more urgently, why is Jungkook missing from the equation entirely? Eyewitnesses at Schiphol Airport described the moment with meticulous clarity. Jimin, dressed in casual attire, yet unmistakably radiating the aura of an international superstar, moved quietly through the arrivals hall. There were no official media crews, no staged photo opportunities, just a silent, deliberate entrance. Within minutes, fan accounts began posting grainy videos of his arrival, triggering hashtags that quickly trended worldwide. While some insisted the visit was nothing more than a personal gesture, others were adamant. There is a larger, undisclosed plan. Theories escalated when a short, blurry clip appeared online showing a figure matching Jimin's build entering the same private rehearsal facility that Jean has been using for the past week. Fans dissected every frame, pointing to Jimin's distinctive gait and his oversized hoodie, a style choice instantly recognizable to longtime followers. Within hours, side-by-side comparisons with past BTS rehearsals emerged, and the conclusion was impossible to ignore. The location, the security team, and even the guarded Van Fleet matched BTS's last stadium tour. This revelation came with an even more provocative twist. Multiple Dutch media outlets reported late-night arrivals of several black vans with tinted windows at the rehearsal site, accompanied by heightened security measures. Industry whispers suggested the possibility of a surprise on-stage reunion, potentially the first live performance between Jean and Jimin since both completed military service. For fans, the implications are almost overwhelming. After more than 2 years of longing for direct interaction between BTS members, the thought of Jean and Jimin sharing the stage again is enough to transform anticipation into near frenzy. Social media has been consumed with minute-by-minute speculation, tracking everything from hotel lighting patterns to rumored equipment deliveries. One fan-run account, known for past tour leaks, even claimed that a custom microphone in Jimin's signature color was spotted being transported into the venue. Coincidence, or a carefully planted clue? But the elephant in the room remains: Jungkook's absence. While Jean and Jimin appear to be converging on Amsterdam, no verified sightings of Jungkook have been reported anywhere near the city. Some theories suggest he is preparing for a separate commitment. Others believe his absence could itself be part of a larger reveal. The more extreme predictions imagine Jungkook making a dramatic last-minute entrance during the encore, a stunt that would send the arena into chaos. Yet with no hard evidence, the question of his whereabouts lingers like a deliberate provocation. Local atmosphere in Amsterdam has already shifted from routine concert excitement to something closer to a cultural flashpoint. Streets near the venue are lined with purple banners, fan-made posters, and impromptu sing-alongs echoing through the city's canals. Hotels have reported an unusual influx of Korean-speaking guests, with security protocols reminiscent of past BTS international tours. Taxi drivers have even shared on TikTok that they've been instructed to avoid certain routes identical to those used by BTS during previous European schedules, adding fuel to the fire. A mysterious audio clip surfaced online late last night. Just a few seconds long, it allegedly captured two voices, strikingly similar to Jin's and Jimin's, harmonizing in what appeared to be an unreleased song. The post was deleted within minutes, but not before being recorded, shared, and dissected thousands of times. The audio's origin remains unclear, yet its timing is impossible to ignore. Backstage, insiders describe unprecedented secrecy. Certain sections of the venue's backstage area have been declared completely off-limits, even to crew members. Equipment deliveries are being signed off under code names. Security badges have been reissued for all staff, reportedly with biometric checks. For some, this level of preparation suggests a high-value surprise, something far beyond a casual duet. Historical context makes this even more potent. BTS's last major reunion moment before military service carried deep emotional weight for both the members and their fans, the ARMY. To see Jin and Jimin walk onto the same stage again would not just be another concert moment. It would be a living symbol of resilience, unity, and the enduring promise of BTS's future. The emotional toll could be immense, both for the performers and the audience. And yet, speculation refuses to stay contained to Jin and Jimin alone. A growing number of fans dare to believe that other members, perhaps even Jungkook or RM, might be positioned nearby, ready to join in a surprise that could transform the final Amsterdam date into the unofficial opening act for a full BTS reunion. There is no confirmation, no leaks solid enough to verify, but the very possibility is enough to keep millions worldwide glued to their screens. As the clock counts down to showtime, the energy in Amsterdam is palpable. Live streaming setups outside the arena are locked in position, determined to capture every arrival, every soundcheck, every shadow that might hint at an unannounced guest. Inside, the lighting tests have already hinted at unusual stage configurations, and those paying close attention have noted softer lavender tones being integrated into the set, a color deeply tied to BTS's fan symbolism. When the arena lights eventually dim, every seat will be occupied, every phone camera raised, every heartbeat synchronized in anticipation. Will Jimin step forward for a historic on-stage reunion with Jin? Will Jungkook appear at the 11th hour to turn an already monumental night into a cultural milestone? Or will the evening end with more questions than answers, the mystery deepening rather than resolving? Whatever unfolds, one fact is indisputable. Tonight in Amsterdam is not merely the conclusion of Jin's tour. It is the staging ground for a moment that could redefine BTS's trajectory and reignite a global phenomenon. The crowd will scream, the lights will blind, and somewhere between the first note and the final bow, history may be written. And as Jimin's sudden arrival continues to dominate headlines, one question remains louder than all the rest. The question that is both fans and the industry holding their breath. What is Jin hiding, and why does this secret require Jimin in Amsterdam without Jungkook? In the hours leading up to the concert, activity around the venue has intensified to the point where even seasoned security staff appear visibly alert. Unmarked vehicles are now idling in back entrances, their engines running, with tinted windows concealing whoever sits inside. Fans stationed outside claim they've spotted silhouettes moving behind curtains on the top floor of an adjacent hotel, movements they insist match the posture and build of known BTS members. Whether these sightings are accurate or fueled by collective anticipation is irrelevant. The atmosphere has already reached the boiling point. Meanwhile, Amsterdam's central train station has become a hub for arriving ARMY from across Europe. Trains from Paris, Berlin, and Brussels are packed with passengers carrying BTS lightsticks, their conversations dominated by theories about what could unfold. Vendors have set up impromptu merchandise stalls selling shirts emblazoned with both Jin's and Jimin's images, designs that did not exist before this week. The city feels less like it's preparing for a concert and more like it's bracing for an unprecedented cultural flashpoint. Inside the venue, crew members have begun partial sound checks using unfamiliar instrumental arrangements, prompting yet more speculation. The stage's central lift mechanism, last used during BTS's stadium tours for group entrances, has been activated, a detail not listed on any of the official stage plans for Jin's solo tour. Lighting technicians have been observed running synchronized spotlight tests across two different stage positions, suggesting a dual front performance setup. Still, the most unnerving element remains the silence from all parties involved. No official channels have commented. No posts have appeared from Jin, Jimin, or Jungkook to clarify intentions. This deliberate void of information is almost certainly by design, a strategy to maximize the element of shock. Every passing minute without a statement only deepens the sense that something is coming, something big enough to rewrite tonight's narrative entirely. When the first wave of audience members is finally allowed inside, the sound of thousands of voices colliding in a single enclosed space will mark the true beginning of the night. If the rumors are true, if Jin's secret is real, then Amsterdam may soon witness not just a performance, but a historic turning point for BTS, one that could alter the group's trajectory for years to come. Under the tense and calculated stillness that now envelopes Amsterdam, the question grows sharper with each passing moment. What, precisely, is unfolding behind the heavy curtains of secrecy surrounding Jin's final tour stop? The arrival of Jimin, days earlier than expected, has already shattered the anticipated rhythm of events, yet it is the conspicuous absence of Jungkook that compounds the enigma. Every detail, from the unmarked vehicles stationed near restricted entrances to the activation of staging mechanisms previously used in Jin's solo shows, demands careful scrutiny. But should these details be read as fragments of a genuine historic moment, or as elements of a deliberately orchestrated spectacle designed to command attention and manipulate public perception, we must pause and interrogate our own assumptions. Are these eyewitness accounts, hurriedly posted on platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, accurate reflections of reality, or the distorted output of an echo chamber where speculation thrives unchecked? How do we, as an audience, distinguish between authentic observation and manufactured narrative? And perhaps more importantly, what responsibility do we bear when choosing to amplify information whose veracity remains uncertain? The grainy airport footage of Jimin's arrival has been dissected frame by countless online communities. Yet how much of this visual evidence can withstand rigorous verification? Are the stylistic cues, an oversized hoodie, a recognizable gait, truly definitive proof, or simply markers that can be imitated, staged, or misinterpreted? The rapid spread of these clips, without independent confirmation, raises a pressing ethical question. Are we witnessing the democratization of news through citizen reporting, or are we participating in the acceleration of misinformation under the guise of immediacy? The speculation regarding a possible onstage reunion between Jin and Jimin carries its own weight. If true, it would represent a landmark in post-military service BTS history. However, the logistical clues cited by fans, unusual lighting configurations, dual front performance setups, restricted backstage zones, may be interpreted in multiple ways. Could these preparations be for an entirely unrelated production element? Could the reappearance of old tour mechanisms simply be a cost-effective use of available equipment rather than a coded signal of a reunion? Or, conversely, is the ambiguity itself intentional, meant to provoke exactly this sort of feverish speculation and online engagement? The absence of Jungkook adds a final, volatile element to the narrative. While some posit that his non-appearance is merely due to scheduling conflicts, others view it as the pivot upon which an explosive reveal could turn. Here we must ask ourselves, is the lack of reliable sightings an anomaly in a hyper-surveilled celebrity world? Or could the silence be strategically cultivated to maximize shock value? If Jungkook were to appear unannounced, the psychological and emotional impact on the audience would be immeasurable, but so too would be the publicity generated by such a moment. Is it cynical to assume that this possibility is being weighed by management teams as much for its marketing impact as for its artistic significance? The supposed leaked audio clip, fleeting, deleted, yet indelibly imprinted across fan forums, further complicates matters. It allegedly captures the voices of Jin and Jimin harmonizing in what appears to be an unreleased composition. But here again, the chain of custody for this recording is opaque at best. Can we, with intellectual integrity, treat this audio as legitimate without forensic analysis? Or must we instead confront the possibility that such artifacts are engineered, either by insiders seeking to cultivate hype or by outsiders eager to manipulate the narrative for their own gain, it is critical to examine the broader media ecosystem in which these developments are unfolding. The cross-platform amplification between Twitter trends, YouTube reaction videos, TikTok fan edits, and speculative blog posts creates a feedback loop in which information, true, false, or somewhere in between, is reinforced by repetition rather than by evidence. In such an environment, the distinction between primary and secondary sources collapses, replaced by a continuous stream of emotionally charged content designed to elicit maximum engagement. How many of us have stopped to question whether our excitement is rooted in fact or in the intoxicating momentum of communal anticipation? The physical environment in Amsterdam mirrors this digital frenzy. Streets adorned with purple banners, hotels filled with Korean-speaking visitors, and localized transport reroutes are all observable realities. Yet the interpretation of these realities is less certain. Are these signs of an impending historic event, or simply the predictable manifestations of any high-profile concert by a globally renowned artist? In conflating the ordinary with the extraordinary, do we risk blinding ourselves to the mundane truths that may underlie spectacular claims? We must also consider the role of silence. Neither Jin, nor Jimin, nor Jungkook has issued any official statement clarifying their positions or intentions. Silence, in the realm of celebrity communication, is rarely neutral. It can serve as a shield against premature disclosure, but it can equally function as a tool of strategic provocation. Are we witnessing a disciplined refusal to comment until the moment of maximum impact? Or is the absence of communication simply evidence that there is nothing substantive to reveal? This tension between truth and speculation demands that we adopt a stance of measured skepticism. The allure of believing in a monumental surprise is undeniable. It appeals to our desire for narrative closure, emotional catharsis, and communal celebration. Yet in surrendering too quickly to this allure, we risk becoming complicit in the spread of misinformation. Are we prepared to accept that our most fervent hopes might be leveraged as instruments of marketing strategy? And if so, where does that leave the authenticity of the connection between artist and audience, the convergence of fan theories, selective leaks, and carefully controlled access around this Amsterdam event presents an opportunity, not only to witness a potential cultural milestone, but also to examine the mechanics of modern celebrity storytelling. Whether the outcome is a historic reunion, a calculated publicity maneuver, or an anticlimactic solo performance, the process by which we arrive at our conclusions will reveal as much about our own critical faculties as it does about BTS's next chapter. Thus, as the clock continues its relentless march toward showtime, we must confront a pivotal question. Do we believe this is reality unfolding before us? Or are we participating in a carefully constructed illusion? Each of us must answer individually, weighing the available evidence, acknowledging the gaps in our knowledge, and resisting the temptation to fill those gaps with wishful thinking. And when the lights finally dim and the first note resounds, will we be experiencing history, or merely the most elaborate act of narrative theater the K-pop industry has yet devised? The answer may not be clear tonight, or even tomorrow, but the rigor with which we question, the discipline with which we verify, and the honesty with which we confront our own biases will determine whether we emerge from this moment enlightened or merely entertained. If you want, I can continue this with a forensic-style breakdown of each clue mentioned in the article so readers can evaluate their credibility one by one. This would make the skepticism angle even sharper. Would you like me to do that?